scrap factory. I must be such a prude, but I've always been just utterly disgusted by fart jokes. Like, even as a kid in a cartoon, when there'd be like a fart gag, I just like was so unimpressed. Okay, looks like there's maybe a few ways we could go. I like that we can see the sky through here. I like areas like that. This hasn't been the most in-depth commentary. It's just a lot of, I like this, or I'm not so sure about this. But ultimately, I do just think this has been a pretty well done set so far. We could wait and lure this guy into the crusher, but that just kind of boring. What about you? Let's crush you. Blue key. Oh, we could have come up here at any time. Somehow I didn't realize that. I thought that this was closed off from the rest of this opening area. So far, some of this seems to me to be like just like pesky incidental combat. There's these big open rooms that are filled with imps and zombies, and you just run through, getting plinked away at, and plinking away at things. I mean, that's just Doom, you know, you run through rooms shooting at things, getting shot at, but I don't know how to describe it other than pesky incidental combat, I think, is how I would describe some of these encounters in this map so far. Is this lower? Yes. I don't know that I want to drop down there. I'm sure it goes somewhere, but I'm just not feeling trustworthy enough right now. Oh, okay, I like this. We can follow... Yeah. We've got this, like, power cord on the ground. I like how that was telegraphed. Forgot about you. I liked that. I liked that fight. That was much better than the rest of the combat. Yeah, I'm gonna save. See what's down here. Sorry, I had to slap at a mosquito. I don't think I got him. He'll probably come back. If you hear me clapping at the air, that's what that's all about. A lot of crushers in the set so far. I like it. Crushers, poisonous floors. Very industrial. It's something that's classic Doom, but you know, sometimes people just kind of shy away from, and I like that this map is not shying away from it. Or map set in general. Is this 32 units? No, it looks a little smaller than 32. Looks a little bigger than 24. I don't know. Maybe a better player could glide through here. I'm not about to attempt to glide, but if that's 32 units, just know a skilled player could sneak through there. Alright, blue key. This kind of just seems pointless. Like, if you'd spawned some enemies, like, right here, to remind the player where the blue key, or the blue key door was, that would be appropriate, but if these monsters were spawned in to try and direct the player, they're already right next to the door, and if they're not here to direct the player, then they just kind of are a time sink. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal. It took 30 seconds, but I found them to be a little superfluous. weapons aren't booby-trapped, which is kind of a nice change of pace from the other maps. A lot of times it's nice to booby-trap weapons, but, you know, you don't want to do the same thing all the time, so I appreciate the break in routine. Whoa. Should have had my rocket launcher out. I don't know that the winged barons add much. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that I feel like if you're gonna do a sprite replacement, it could be something that is more in line with the theme. I guess maybe he's like a mutant, you could say. He's a radiation mutant. Maybe that's in line with the theme. I don't know. Just a thought. If I drop down for that blue armor, how am I getting back? Okay. I appreciate that when you run off the ledge... Oh, I guess it only does it right there. I was going to say, I appreciate that when you run off the ledge, the lift lowers to immediately let you know how to get back up. But that seems to only be the case if we drop off right next to it. Maybe it's just because I crossed whatever line hits it coming back. I don't know how to word what I'm thinking. Cool sky, very industrial. I'll try not to use the word industrial anymore. Is this like the Speed of Doom title screen? I feel like this looks like a title screen of a WAD that I'm familiar with. Maybe Flotsam? I don't remember which WAD it is. Again, all these faraway enemies, it doesn't really feel like purposeful monster placement. It's just pesky dumping. It feels like cleanup, like it feels like the end of a fight rather than, you know, the fight itself. The fight itself shouldn't feel like cleanup. This seems like it's going to be an arena. I And so I'm already gonna have to run around here fighting things. So all these enemies being dumped in at the start, I don't know, I feel like when you first enter this room, even just like one Mancubus up by the switch that triggers the fight would feel much more meaningful than just dumping a bunch of guys all over the place. Really not easy to get out of here if you accidentally fall in. It should be a lot easier to get out. Are the Arachnos fighting each other? What the hell is going on here? This wasn't a yellow key door from the other side, and I feel like it should have been. So this is the third time you're dumping monsters into this room and having me clean it up. So at this point, I'm like really kind of bored of this room. If you are going to reuse a space for a fight, like, it's always much more interesting if you've changed the environment in some way and the fight plays differently, but this just plays like every other encounter we've had here. I guess I'll go grab health. Let's that's nice. I'm glad I found that. I don't understand why these lifts are like out in the middle and not next to the platforms. There's nothing wrong with it, it just feels wrong to me, even though there's nothing technically wrong with it. It's quirky, but not particularly charming. Alright, this is the first map that I would say I didn't enjoy, and there's nothing technically wrong with it. There's nothing objectively wrong with it. I'm just really not a fan of a lot of the monster placement, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad level, it just wasn't for me.